figured. I realized the light's not on.
All right. Well, Pat's going to go fix his light real quick. We're live again. My bad.
We're
I hit live
live
before he was ready.
You're
We're
good.
live and back at it. I do have a couple questions for Pat, but right now, dude, I've got the Cincinnati Mariners game on right now, and good news for Cincinnati, they've scored 7 runs. Obviously, at some point in the last 8 days, they were one of the worst teams in Major League Baseball in terms of producing runs, but they've got 10 hits, 7 runs. Downside, they're losing with 7 runs. I think they're down 11-7.
Yeah, dude. The Mariners just scored again. It's 11-7 now.
Yeah. At the top of the 10th, right? We're in extras.
Yeah, we're in extras.
Ellie De La Cruz had an error that inning. Seattle's trying to give him some hits. We'll see if the Reds are able to walk this thing off at the very end. But right now, it's not looking too good. How are you, dude?
Dude, I'm chilling, man. Hopefully the Tribe takes care of business and gets a dub tonight and a series win, which would be 3 series in a row. So that's kind of what I've got focused on my plate right now. You just came off your 3rd straight series win or 2nd?
No, we lost the Giants series.
Oh, fuck, that's right.
Yeah, Rodon got his shit blasted.
That's right.
When he was pitching really, really well. And then game 1 of that series, they ended up getting caught after 7 innings.
Yeah.
Stroman didn't make it out of the 1st inning.
So welcome back to the series win column.
Yeah, so we're back in the series win column. It was dramatic. Got the sweep, though. The sweep is always good. And then sweep in dramatic fashion. Did you see the Cody Bellinger catch at the end of it?
Yeah, dude, that was nasty.
Sick, dude. It's sick. Here we go. This is why, and you and I, so you try to throw it in my face a little bit, the catch probability thing. Okay. What do you think the StatCast catch probability was on that play?
Well, honestly, the whole probability thing, it's been, I feel like they changed the stat or the catch.
I think they tried to tweak it and made it worse.
Yeah, because, all right, I'm going to go with that one. Wait, shit. What was the Judge one from Pittsburgh?
The Judge one was 90.
90% catch probability?
Yeah, wasn't it?
No, I thought that's what I was expecting it was, but you said it was less than that, I thought, because remember we were joking about how he unnecessarily dove for that.
I thought you said it was 9. I was going off it was 90. I don't know what it was.
I forget. But anyway, what was Bellinger?
I just remember the one running into the wall.
Yeah, the one in San Francisco, right?
Yeah, it was 85.
Yeah.
The Bellinger one, 95% catch probability.
Really?
95%.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. That's surprising.
Because I was just listening to New York radio on the way home, and a Mets caller called to say that was a routine play for Bellinger and referenced the StatCast catch percentage. That it's broken.
Yeah, dude, hold up.
95? It was a low line drive, 100 miles.
I'm watching the replay right now because unless I'm fried, because normally I'm the fucking Yankees' biggest hater, but oh, come on, play for me.
Dude, there's no way it's
not loaded. Oh, here we go. All right. Yeah, dude. I mean, first of all, oh yeah, all right, we get it. The Judge home run. Yeah. Let me show me the fucking Bellinger catch. Here we go.
Smoked off the bat.
Yeah, I don't get how that's a 95%.
Smoked off the bat. I think he hung a splitter and it got tattooed.
Yeah.
And you know what it's like when you hit a pitch with no spin on it?
Yeah.
It moves wicked ways.
Oh yeah, that's 100. We saw that. What was it yesterday? Carlos Santana hit one back up the middle off of a Dean Kramer. I think it was a Dean Kramer splitter, and literally ate up Jackson Holiday, and he just couldn't. Nothing he could have done about it.
Nothing. You.
But that was. Did you see? In the Tribe game yesterday, I was actually surprised that this one. And again, I thought it was high, but it was even higher or a lower percentage than that. The catch that Heston Kjerstad made on Angel Martinez.
No, I didn't see it.
There was a at this point, the Indians were still in the game. It was 4-1, and they had first and second 2 outs, and it was 6th or 7th inning. Angel Martinez ropes one in the gap that I thought he barreled, and it was going to have a chance to be gone. But Kjerstad made a running diving catch onto the warning track, and they gave it a 60% catch probability, which was the hardest catch he's ever had in his career.
Jeez.
And I'm damn, 60%. I don't know. They must have changed this metric, because off the bat, I'm like, he barreled that up, hit it over, I think 105 miles per hour. And you're telling me in the gap running catch is only 60%. Like it should have been like a 30% is what I would have thought it was.
So I've been in Twitter spaces and people kind of have been talking about it. And one of the things that got brought up was that it gets adjusted to like league average. So like if the league is getting better at defending, then the catch percentage will change. I don't think it should. I think it should just be straight reaction time from there.
Yeah.
But the idea being, as the league gets better at defense, like what percentage of the league would have caught it is like a way to view it. But I still think it's a broken metric if it's that. I think it's still a broken metric.
Yeah. And also it's like, so I guess early in the season, because there's less data to go off of, the percentages can vary from day to day, right? That's super weird.
And also, like the other side of it is like I think it should be in line with your expected bat pip, like not to get like too analytic nerd like, but like if the X bat pip on that is like over 600 on that line shot,
yeah.
Like, so here we go. If we say it's a 90% catch probability, then
that means its XBA should be 100. Yeah, absolutely.
100.
It should be correlated.
And there's no way the X bat pip is 100.
Well, the only issue I guess with that is that like if it's a line drive right at the right fielder, so like the XBA on it could be 850, but the right fielder didn't move, so I wouldn't put that as like a 15% catch probability. That would kind of be more like
that's fair. I guess that checks out. I just feel like there has to be a better way to do it altogether.
I agree. There definitely should be. I think we're on to something here, and there's got to be a way to fine tune it. Like, whatever, take the expected batting average from it, and I don't know. But either way, it's a funky stat. But yeah, what did you say? 95%.
95% on the Bellinger catch.
No, dude, miss me with that. I played right field, and I ain't 95%.
Part of the explanation, I guess, is that he's left-handed. And like
I feel like that makes it harder because he has to go across his body.
That's what makes it look difficult, because I guess StatCast doesn't consider the left-handed right-handed. So it made it look harder because he had to reach across rather than reach out.
Oh, all right. Still, yeah, I was going to say it should be harder if he's left-handed because he's got to go across.
Like it made it look harder. Like StatCast doesn't account for left-handed, right-handed, because it's just again against like the league average.
Yeah.
But here we go. I'm going to talk about you guys. Do you call him Angel Martinez?
I do, like Guardian Angel.
Yeah. Oh, Guardian Angel. Was it Angel, right? What is
I think it's Angel. Yeah.
Angel?
Yeah, is how you correctly pronounce it. But I'm used to calling him our Guardian Angel. So that's in our group chats and shit. He had a
really good series against the Royals, right?
Oh, yeah. He went 8 for or no, I guess including the first game of the Baltimore series, he was 8 for 14 before yesterday. So I don't know where he was at after the Kansas City series, but hitting over 500, had two solid like chances yesterday to get us back in the game. The first one, like I mentioned earlier, he roped one into the gap that Kjerstad made a crazy play on. And then the more frustrating AB was he came out with the bases loaded and 1 out. I think the score was still 5-1 at that point. And he hit a topper back to the mound. Cano, the Orioles reliever, threw it home to get the force, and then he should have been safe, but the umps made the right call. He was out of the baseline running to first, trying to get in the way of the catcher. So I mean, kind of unlucky there, but to me, I think he's played himself. I know it's been 6 games or whatever, but he's played himself into a starting role right now, especially with the struggles from Lane Thomas, John Kenzie Noel, and Nolan Jones.
He's a different flavor center fielder for you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's so different than Lane. And you and I were getting coffee this morning, and I wanted to ask you that, but I think I'll save it for now. You want Martinez to get a chance to be the everyday center fielder, right?
Honestly, you have to at this point. He's hitting for power. He's hitting for contact. It's like he's putting the ball in play. He's playing good defense. He's made a couple really nice plays in the outfield. They actually had him playing right for a couple innings in this Baltimore series too. So he's looked comfortable playing in both spots. I think you absolutely have to let him be an everyday outfielder unless he goes into a slump or one of those other 3 guys gets red hot.
I think he's probably one of the best 3 athletes in the outfield. So
yeah,
I think like at the very worst, like you'll get a really rangy, twitchy guy. I mean, he threw the 1 ball at 95 miles per hour on the way in, which is like, okay, like that's, plus arm strength wise.
Yeah.
What's your ideal 3 for out there? Would you want him in right? Or are you still working through the John Kenzie Noel and Nolan experience?
I guess for me, I would rather Angel lockdown center field.
Okay.
And then I think there's more upside with John Kenzie and Nolan Jones as a platoon than there is with Lane Thomas right now. And I've been a Lane defender because his splits were really good when he was in Washington, especially against left-handed pitching. But I mean, we're almost 3 months into Lane Thomas being a Cleveland Guardian, and he's really struggled for 2 of those months. And I mean, really struggled. Like, it hasn't been just like skating by. Like, it's been really bad. So I think we were talking earlier, we were getting coffee. The worst thing that he did, not really the worst thing, but what he did, that home run against Tarek Skubal, I think that bought him so much leeway because that was such a monumental home run. And
against the game's best.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, I think he's got a lot of leeway right now. For the Guardians, it's going to be really fascinating because they've got like some unique, like early season personnel decisions to make. And you always want to leave spring training without panicking or without drastic movement. You don't want to drastically alter things through the first, 20 games of a season. But it feels like there's some clear answers here for the Guardians that are in front of them. If you're willing to at least react a little bit, right? Like if you're willing to react a little bit, okay, let me start shopping Lane Thomas. Let me start thinking about what that right field looks like. And I need power and pop somewhere in this lineup. Where am I going to get it from? The Martinez thing paired with the Arias all of a sudden being a pop god. You're looking around like, if I want pop, I want to get it from my right fielder. But if I'm not getting it, I can shuffle some things around, and all of a sudden we've got a lot more pop in the infield because Arias is a strong kid who, without the pressure now trying to win a battle, is playing really good baseball. He's up to 150 WRC plus. I think at some point that'll slow down. He's got 4 home runs. He's probably already in the top 20 in the league in home runs on super limited at bats. If you want to go Martinez in one of the 3 outfield spots, and then Arias find him a home, that is just more competitive, a different flavor of player they've had with the Guardians. Do those 2 decisions to you, where to put Arias and where to put Martinez, are those intertwined, or should they be intertwined, or is it too soon to react like that at all?
I don't think they're intertwined. I think Arias has been kind of locked down. He's locked down at second base role early on this year. Now, yesterday, he played shortstop, which was a first, and a lot of stuff that I guess, some Cleveland fans have been clamoring for with the early season struggles for Rocchio, both at the dish and in the field. I mean, he's second in the league in errors behind only Jose Ramirez, and just has shown poor base running, especially in the last 2 series. I can count at least 3 base running blunders he's had. So he got the day off yesterday. Arias comes in and plays short, hits a home run, plays really good defense. I mean, he's got a laser of an arm. His arm plays for shortstop more so than it does for second, which I've always found interesting.
I mean, he has like a legit third base arm.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to always bring up the Yankees in this, but his arm strength to me is akin to Jazz.
Yeah, I would say so. I think it's a fair comparison.
They might have here 2 things. I told you this morning. I was high on Brian Rocchio. On me and Pat's other channel, I did the 7 players that I'm really high on for this year, and he was one of the players. 18 games in, my reaction is, congrats, Cleveland. You have Gleyber Torres. Yeah. Like, that's what you have.
And it's funny because he didn't show these things last year. Like the bad base running, the poor fielding, like those were 2 things that you could always count on Rocchio actually providing to the club, despite the fact that he wasn't hitting. And now it's like he's turned into Gleyber Torres because those were the 2 things that when Gleyber was hitting, you could look and say, well, fuck, we don't know where to put him in the field. He's not a shortstop. Let's try to move him to second. And you're going to get those base running blunders.
Yeah, and here we go. So like with Rocchio, if your shortstop isn't hitting, it's supposed to be manageable because, okay, like he's great at defense. He's going to have, the 4 or 5 defensive run saves pretty quickly because he's a shortstop. Just how it goes. Outs above average, going to be up there because he's a really good defender. And then it's like, okay, when he gets on base, he's a threat with his speed because he's a shortstop. He's athletic. When those things aren't ticking, he might accidentally be doing the Cleveland front office the biggest favor in the world, because him not working out and Arias hitting well and playing shortstop right now literally parts the sea for Bazana.
I know.
Like, has any one player in the history of like clearing the way for a number 1 overall pick made things any easier than Rocchio's making things right now?
Right now, I can't think of it. I can't think of another option, dude.
Like, Pat, isn't it the easiest thing? The easiest thing. Rocchio stinks right now. Arias is hitting his ass off and plays a good shortstop. You don't have him anymore. Obviously, we wanted to see him traded for a little bit more. Didn't happen, but he's not there. And also, while all this is happening, Bazana is raking. Me and Pat on the way to coffee, we're trying to figure out when to go because we want to see him before he gets pulled up.
Yeah, dude. And right now, I think we have that like May 11th date circled is to go to an Akron game.
Yeah.
We might not make it.
Dog. Literally, Rocchio's fucking up the whole summer.
Well, honestly, it's a combination of Rocchio and I would say just the fact that so there was a 3-person battle for that, I guess, middle infield spot, or really 4-person, because Tyler Freeman was a part of it, and then we dealt him. What would have made things really easy is if Juan Burrito had won the job out of camp to be the starting second baseman, because then I think that would have, because now there's one more leapfrog that Bazana has to do, and that's Burrito in Columbus. So the problem with calling him up to Columbus, then I don't know where you put Burrito. I guess you move him to short, unless Burrito gets a call up.
If that's the roadblock, Pat, how about you call someone at the Guardians and tell them to be a real franchise? Tell them no more bargain trades. Tell them to go get a package together involving 2 prospects, include one of the catchers, include Burrito, and include a right fielder, and go upgrade somewhere. Yeah. Like when there are prospects knocking on the door like this, and you've got a situation available where there's going to be a spot open in your infield, and you're in Hosey's prime, stop being the Guardians and looking for your bargain discount deal. Stop being the Guardians trying to fix the broken car. Go grab the prospect that's in the way of the prospect that you want to play. Grab another one, whether it's the number 2 catcher or the number 1 catcher, because catchers are super important. Everyone will trade for them, and throw in one of your 2 right fielders and go get a lineup upgrade. Stop being cheap. Stop being corny. Stop trying to go get the fix them up toys and go loop together prospects and go get somebody. That way you do 2 things. Instead of just upgrading your lineup in one place, you clear the logjam, you get a young player up there, and additionally, you package prospects that are really just acting as roadblocks in your development system, and you get a bat today.
Believe me, if it were that easy, I would call it would be done already. The problem is that this is not how Cleveland operates. And
but isn't this the perfect time to change it?
It is.
Because Pat, honestly, think about it. My Yankees, I know they operate super differently.
Yeah.
Juan Soto was out there. You have pitching prospects. What do? You grab a bunch, you move them to San Diego, you go get Juan Soto, you're in a World Series. Like, if you got an opportunity to send guys over there, to send guys somewhere else, to go get a bat, I mean, shit, dude. Like, look, the Padres need everything. If you call the Padres and offer them Burrito, offer them one of the 2 catchers that you have in the system. I mean, shit, the one catcher they've got, can't remember his name right now. I think he's in AA or AAA. He's hitting 400 last week.
Velasquez.
One of them, I don't know. Yeah. But it's like you grab a catcher, you grab Burrito, and you send them. I mean, shit, you might send them Nolan Jones, and you could probably walk away with Dylan Cease.
Yeah, I mean,
now the Dylan Cease thing, obviously, he's going to be a free agent, and like that's like a lot for a rental.
And it's not, and they'll never do that. They won't do that for a guy who's in his walk year. Like, they go after guys with multiple years of control that are cost effective, probably pre-arbitration guys. It's like those are the types of guys that they're going to go after. Believe me, I wish me and you could sit down with Chris Antonetti and fucking work through these things together, because I just would like to see some level of desperation in the prime of Jose Ramirez's career. Like, I'm watching Luis Roberts right now. There's no reason Luis Roberts isn't playing right field for Cleveland. Yeah.
There's no reason.
it'll
Never happen.
never happen because again, it's too early in the year. The Guardians will not make a trade this early in the year because they want to see whether or not they're going to be buyers or, sellers at the deadline.
Yeah.
And so they're never going to buy this early because they'll always look to buy through selling in some way too. It's never just clear cut buying, except in maybe 2016. That was in 2017. Those are the only 2 seasons that I can remember where they actually were buyers at the deadlines and not buyer by selling. Or selling by buying, whatever you want to call it.
And I guess the big concern I have is like the longer, look, I think Bazzana's going to be a really good player. Like I've undocumented saying that. I think the longer you keep Brito, naturally you end up hurting Brito's value.
Yeah.
Because who's the second baseman of the future?
It's Bazzana.
So if you keep Brito there, or if he passes Brito, then it's like, oh, this is the kid that got passed by Brito that quick.
Yeah. But the thing is, so what and again, like you said, they hold on to these prospects a little too long. George Valera is a prime example the past few years, like a guy that multiple times should have been called up to the majors and given a chance to, prove that he belongs. And then by the time he's ready to get called up, he gets hurt in AAA. And so now he's not an option anymore. It's the same thing. Honestly, they tried to do it with Chase DeLauder. I think DeLauder probably cracks the opening day roster this year, but he got hurt and he's been hurt. That's one of the things. He's been injury prone. With Bazzana, I think you have to call him up to AAA by mid-May. And and honestly, what you do is then you move Brito to a corner outfield or to shortstop and let him figure it out there. And then,
I mean, that's cool and all. I guess my thing is I think they should trade for an outfielder, maybe pre-arb, a bigger time outfielder.
Yeah.
And even if they're in ARB right now and it's like 1 year, that's cool because if you believe in the young guys, cool. Like get a 1 year stopgap, then get to water.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's
the other problem with this whole thing right now is that, and I think what they need to do is they got to suck it up and I think the platooning Nolan Jones and John Kenzie Noel is doing more bad than it is good right now.
It halts development in a huge way, and it's inconsistent at bats, I think.
And it's I get that they both have tremendous splits against the opposite hand pitchers, but neither of them are hitting right now. And so they're not getting a chance to get into a groove. And so at least one of them's on the bench every day. Hell, 2 of them were on the bench yesterday. And they both came off the bench, and it's you're not going to get either of them going by sitting on the bench, putting them in pinch hitting roles and platoon roles. So honestly, what they need to do is I think they just got to suck it up and just roll with one for a week. I don't care if it's against lefty or righty, leave them in.
Of the 3, who would you look to move first? Lane Thomas, John Kenzie Noel, or Nolan? I
mean, Noel's value is probably the least. I think the Lane probably is the most value just because he's established himself as a big leaguer.
And honestly, the postseason stuff, like GMs look for that.
Yeah. And that's why, again, I hate overreacting we're 3 weeks into the season, but it's I'm also in that same breath. I think I'm most confident in Lane Thomas figuring it out.
Okay.
Maybe Nolan Jones, but Nolan Jones only put together one really good year in the majors, and that was in Colorado. So
is he altitude merchant?
That's the thing. You don't know. I mean, he raked against righties that year, and I've seen it in times this year where he's patient. And honestly, both him and Noel have been patient. Lane is the one that surprisingly had the worst approach out of the 3. He's not working counts. He's striking out and whiffing way too much, something that even John Kenzie has worked on big time this year. The problem with John Kenzie, he's not lifting the ball. He's got no extra base hits on the year. Nolan Jones, same thing. I think he's got 2 extra base hits. I just don't know. You got to give one of them ample playing time right now to see if they can figure it out.
John Kenzie Noel, I think, has gone so far, don't strike out, that he's changed his bat angle and how he gets to the ball. So he's just hitting a lot of ground balls.
Well, it's the same thing that they did with Oscar Gonzalez.
Yeah.
Oscar Gonzalez, he had his playoff moments, the big home run off Kluber to win the wild card round, had the big game against the Yankees, the walk-off base hit. That next year, they said, all right, Oscar, you can't chase that slider low and away. You got to find a way to put the bat on the ball. And what it did was it just created weak contact. He wasn't elevating the ball the same way he was the year prior. And we're seeing that with Noel right now. He's not elevating the ball. Everything is being driven into the ground. The bat speed is there. The exit velocity is there, but there's just no launch angle. And what I don't care. I don't need you to hit 280. I need John Kenzie Noel to hit 230, 240 and hit 30 home runs. That's what I want.
It's gross, man. Hitting development in Cleveland. It's just weird. It's just weird.
It's just what it is there's no consistency with these guys. It comes and goes, which is why I'm holding my breath with Arias, because Arias, two parts of 2 years now, prior to this year, he's had a chance. He played in that 2022 ALDS series against you guys.
Yeah.
Then you have 2023 and 2024 last year. That's 2 years that he had to prove that he could be a consistent major league hitter. And he showed it in spurts like he's done now, but it's just never consistent enough. So that's why I love what we're getting for Arias now. And I hope that at some point, this is the time that it's clicked for him. Finally, he can go the other way. He realizes his opposite field power. He realizes that he can just attack pitches in the zone, doesn't need to try to do damage outside the zone.
Now, you were Team Arias, and we both swung one way and became Team Rocchio, but you knew it to be true the whole time. Arias is the guy. I'm curious to see how they handle Rocchio the next 3-4 weeks.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, what I think, and it's tough because you let him play the full season last year, and he struggled. So it's like, I think what the best thing for him would have been last year was to get him ABs in AAA and see if he can and fix some things down there. But you let him play the full season, and he was never kind of figured it out except for the playoffs. And then we all fell in love with him during the playoffs because he was putting together, the best or arguably the best at-bats on the team. So
it's a mess. It's a mess. It's a mess. The other side of development, Tristan McKenzie. It's over, dog.
It's over.
It's over, dude.
It's never been more over after last night, dude.
Pat showed me that at bat this morning. Oh, good heavens.
I mean, you had a 3-pitch sequence to Ryan O'Hearn of a 91-mile-an-hour fastball up into the first row of the second deck in Camden Yards, followed it up with a 95-mile-an-hour spike job that killed a family of ants before he even reached 10 feet in front of home plate. And then you groove a fastball that got hit 400 feet into the air. I mean, just absolutely brutal.
I mean, it's Goldilocks. Too hot, too cold, just right. And then it got smoked too. Hey, kudos to O'Hearn for pulling the trigger. Because if I see those two pitches, dog, the bat is not moving off my shoulders. It's not.
And it's 3-1. You're like, all right, yeah, we'll work a walk here. No, he clearly was locked in on a spot. And again, it helps because McKenzie has no feel for his off speed, that all he's doing is throwing fastballs up there. And there's no movement on it. It's a 4-seam. It's got no horizontal movement whatsoever.
Dude, gee, you're right. McKenzie breaks my heart. He was the black Roki Sasaki, man. He was, dude.
I mean, I saw someone posted the video of his start in 2022 against the Rays in the wild card round. I mean, you had Shane Bieber throw game one, throw an absolute masterclass against Shane McClanahan. Josie's clutch home run, we win that game. You then go in a pitcher's duel with Tyler Glasnow in a playoff atmosphere in Cleveland, a 0-0 game, dude.
And Glass, his stuff is the most stuff in baseball. I think since 2023, he's got the highest whiff rate amongst all starters.
Yeah. He went toe-to-toe with Glasnow in a playoff game that went 0-0. You had no room for error. He was dialed in, I think 8 Ks that game. Just where, and the answer was he should have gotten surgery.
Yeah, that's it. Should have gotten surgery.
What could have been.
Got I want to talk about the series in a little bit, but I want to throw this up here from Jordan. 3 weeks in and my Twins suck. I'm rooting for the Nationals the rest of the year. It's funny you brought this up because the Twins just concluded a series with the Mets, a series in which they won. This whole week has been dominated, I think, by Juan Soto media-wise, at least on the New York side of it.
Yeah.
So obviously we know the history, Mets, Yankees. It's funny because and Pat is more on the Mets side of things. I'm more on the Yankee side of things. I think but Pat's really in tune with just New York media being from there.
Yeah.
And earlier in the week, I don't know why, but Juan Soto did an interview, and in the interview, he talked about how different it is and how nice it is hitting in front of Aaron Judge when Aaron Judge is the best hitter in baseball. Now, this offseason, Aaron Judge got a lot of flack about like Juan Soto's the best hitter in baseball, Ohtani's the best hitter in baseball, whatever. Aaron Judge is the best hitter in baseball, and Juan Soto acknowledged that. And that caught fire. Every New York media, everything. Because it's like, why are you talking about the Yankees still? Because we were almost to a point on the internet, at least on Twitter, which is not real life, where Yankees fans were being shamed by other Yankees fans for constantly talking about Juan Soto. I don't know if you noticed it, Pat, but being in the Yankees communities on Twitter, I noticed it.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
We were about at that point. Like, stop being weird. Little brother behavior. We've got a good baseball team. We're winning games, deeper lineup. Stop talking about Juan Soto. So Yankees fans were starting to police other Yankees fans with that. And then Juan Soto does this, and all of a sudden, no more policing. We're back to where we were before the year.
Everyone wants to talk about Soto, man. I've never seen a fan base so entranced by a guy that only spent 1 year with their team.
Well, it's because of how he left.
Yeah. And where he went to. And
how he left, where he went to. And also, like, a lot of Yankees fans grow up and they're always being the highest bidder. Like, I can't really remember a time where a guy was in New York as a Yankee and was really good as a Yankee and didn't play for the Yankees the next year.
Yeah, I can't think of one off the top of my head.
Because it doesn't really happen, especially when that guy has a career year and the team makes the World Series.
Yeah.
Like, okay, that guy will be back as part of the future plans. Like, don't be silly. Like, we've got the money, this, that, and like had the big moments in the playoffs. And obviously the fan base told Hal point blank, your whole legacy is riding on if you can bring Juan Soto here. Like, keep Juan Soto here.
Yeah.
So it's just fascinating that happened. And then they lose a series to the Twins. And in the final game of the series, I was texting Pat during it because I'm hate watching it. Juan Soto goes 0 for 5 with 3 Ks, a double play with the bases loaded to end the inning, and then the strikeout in, I think, the 10th inning. He's, I believe, hitting .079 with runners in scoring position. He's batting zeros across the board with runners in scoring position and 2 outs. He's getting on base. The OPS is still up above 800.
Yeah.
And in the meantime, while this is happening, Aaron Judge is having a hot start to the season that he never has.
He was ice cold this time last year.
Awful. Getting booed in Yankee Stadium for how bad his first month is. Right now, he's hitting .409. He's third in the league in home runs because there's a tie at first right now with Kyle Riley playing. He has absolutely zero protection. The guy behind him is hitting under 200. Dog. I think Juan Soto is going to get this figured out. I think the reason this is so loud right now is because Juan Soto decided to open his mouth and give the comments. And I think that one thing that everybody
like there was no reason to.
I think that Juan Soto's never been a great leader. I think he's always been a great hitter and like a fun guy to be around. I don't think he's ever been entrenched as like the super great leader that knows what to say. And part of that is like, English not being the first language. So not like understanding the culture and the media culture. But the other part of it is I don't know exactly where he's media trained.
Yeah, but he doesn't have to be. It's not like he's forced into a leadership role in the Mets. They have their leader in Francisco Lindor. Like that's your guy right there. That's the leader of that team. You don't need to go in and be the leader. And he never has. He's never had to do that in his career. I mean, in Washington, you had Bryce Harper there. I guess the one year that Harper wasn't there, I don't even know.
When Harper wasn't there and you won the World Series, you were the kid on the team.
Yeah.
You were the baby. You were 19 years old. Like you were a kid.
Yeah. But then in fast forward to San Diego, you're surrounded yourself with guys like, Fernando Tatis and Manny Machado, like other big name guys. I wouldn't actually qualify or quantify any of those guys as de facto leaders.
Well, I think Manny Machado was the leader there.
Yeah.
I think that's why, those guys didn't get along. I don't know if you were too in tune with the Padres,
Yeah.
But those guys didn't get along there. There was a divide between Soto and them.
Yeah. And that's where, again, the vibes of San Diego have kind of been that way just for a while. Like there hasn't been no clear-cut leader. Like I don't look at the Padres and say like, oh, that's Manny Machado's team.
Okay,
Like,
so I do. I look at them and very clearly
I look at that. I honestly, and like to me, like that's Fernando Tatis's team.
Really? So for me,
Yeah.
and maybe it's just one optic image that I have, and it was last year, one of the games late in the year. Some shit happened and they were struggling, and Manny Machado held a meeting in the clubhouse before one of the innings, and everybody was locked in listening to him. And then they went out there and put it together and had a great series.
My thing is the fuck shit that Manny Machado does. Like that's not something that your leader does.
No, the fuck shit is something your leader does if you're a fuck ass team, and I think that's what San Diego is.
Yeah, and that's and again, that's where the problems arise with San Diego.
Like I think Tatis is also on fuck shit, but it's
he
okay.
Is.
Yeah, so I'm saying like I think they all follow the lead of Manny Machado's fuck shit. So he like not a great leader,
just creates dysfunction.
Yeah, like not a great leader, but the leader I think is Manny.
Yeah.
Especially like the way he talks about it. And the way that Jackson Merrill talks about him too is kind of like, but anyway, I feel like Juan Soto might feel pressure to kind of like be the voice of the Mets because he got the huge contract. And I think he's also letting the noise in from New York, because I think that the Mets in particular, the Mets brass, I think they knew that the Mets lineup wasn't very deep. I mean, anybody can look at it. It was a lot of ifs. It's like if Mark Vantos continues, it's gonna be really good. Like if Lindor starts off form, he never does, it's gonna be really good. Like if Pete returns to form, it's gonna be really good. The one thing that was not gonna be an if was Juan Soto because of the nature of how he hits.
Yeah.
I think the Mets fully expected, and Mets fans wanted to rub in the face the start of Juan Soto paired with this bad start, presumably, of Aaron Judge. I think this was going to be the first for Mets fans and for kind of the Mets brass to start the year, right? Because like historically, Juan Soto starts off really good. Historically, Aaron Judge does not. So if you're the Mets, you make this contract, you pay him, you steal him from New York, and you get that victory lap, and then you get another loud victory lap when Juan Soto is the player of the month and he hits 288, and he's got 9 bombs to start, and you're looking across town and not Juan Soto and Aaron Judge is struggling. It's like, okay, look, another victory lap. Haha, we've got the best hitter in baseball. I think that's the only reason why this Mets Soto thing feels worse than it is.
Yeah. And part of it too is that, and again, like you said, I think he's just not thinking clearly because he feels like he needs to kind of prove to himself and to everyone else that he's worth this contract, because we saw the same shit happen with Lindor. I mean, the season, the offseason, the Indians traded him to New York. He signs the 10-year, $300 million extension. And then he struggled that first year. And then he comes and makes the comments about Cleveland and kind of just like puts himself in a weird, media situation where you're like, all right, what's this guy's deal? Like, why is he turning his back on?
It's like an almost villain role.
Yeah. And that's where I think these guys get into that mentality, because they know that all the eyes are on them now because they just got this massive deal and that they have to perform. And the second they're not performing to that, they take it as let me show you, like, and I think, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if we see Soto with a somewhat down year, similar to what we saw with Lindor in 21. I mean, Lindor in 21 hit 230, 20 homers, 60 RBIs. It was the lowest like WAR he's had in a full season, outside of the COVID year, lowest WAR he's had in the season, and then came back. And the last 3 years, he's been an MVP. He's been top 10 in MVP voting the last 3 years. Like, he's figured it out. Like, and it's not to say that Soto, because for Lindor, people said, oh, well, he's not used to the New York market. Mm-hmm. And you can't really say that for Soto, because he was in the New York market last year. But in a sense, the roles are reversed. Judge, before last year, signed the massive deal. So all the eyes were on him. And Soto, the new guy on the team, the eyes were on him, but it's really, that's Judge's team. And like, it was his year to kind of prove that, that contract was worth it. And so,
do you think Juan Soto's style as a hitter is conducive to being the man in New York? Because here's let me unpack this for you before you even give an answer.
Okay.
you don't have to pitch to him with how bad the lineup is. He's not going to expand the zone at all to chase any kind of power.
Yeah.
So you give him $700, $800 million, you're going to want to see multiple 40 home run seasons. Without the best hitter in baseball behind him, teams are going to choose to let Pete Alonso beat you and not Juan Soto. And Juan Soto's not going to put himself in a position where he expands his zone for the sake of hitting power. Like we've seen at times Aaron Judge expand the zone for the sake of getting somewhere. Like even the 58 home runs last year, late in the year, people weren't really pitching to him. He was just swinging out of the zone, like high pitches because he's that strong and that kind of power.
Yeah.
I think that we could see relatively quiet stretches for Juan Soto because he's not going to expand the zone. And that's going to be and here's the thing. If he starts expanding the zone, I think that's a bad thing because he's not that style hitter.
No. You got to trust the rest of your lineup to do your thing. I mean, what they need, the biggest part of their struggles right now is Lindor. I mean, this is supposed to be the time for Lindor to pop off. His protection in the lineup last year was Jose Iglesias and Mark Vientos and Brandon Nimmo. Like those were the guys that the Mets were recycling in and out of the 2-hole. In a playoff game, they had Jose Iglesias batting second.
Which is so disgusting. That's so disgusting, by the way.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And Lindor balled out, especially in the playoffs, especially towards the end of the year, kind of made that push to even, I mean, it was a runaway Shohei Ohtani MVP race until Lindor made that late season push. You come into this year and now Lindor gets Soto hitting behind him. You have a 651 OPS, Lindor. Mm-hmm. You're getting on base, 308 on base percentage. Nah, man.
Well, so is Lindor so for the poor start for Soto, or is that not fair?
That's not fair.
Okay. Here you go. And I know we talked about it on the phone or over text. Mm-hmm. If you're the Mets, do you just say screw it and you make Juan Soto, Aaron Judge, and you flip the two of them and you flip Pete Alonso to 2?
I don't trust Pete to get on base frequently enough so that Soto is getting on with multiple guys on. I don't know. To me, with Pete's struggles last year and kind of really the last 2 years prior to this year, there was a downward trend in his, kind of advanced analytics that we're now seeing him getting pitched to. I mean, guys are going around Soto so that they face Alonso. They don't mind facing Alonso with runners on. Now that'll change if he's fucking 1,200 OPS, 21 RBIs. Like so far in the year, he's making pitchers pay. And so like if you're the Mets, you can't fuck with that. Like let Lindor figure it out. Lindor's got to be the one, because if Lindor figures it out, this whole thing fixes itself.
Yeah, because if Lindor figures out, you're not going to want 2 guys on for Pete.
Exactly. So right now Lindor's not on base, so hitters can pitch around Soto and get to Pete. But once Lindor starts getting on base, then pitchers are like, oh shit, well, we can't pitch around Soto because we don't want 2 guys on for Pete the way he's swinging. So once Lindor figures it out, it's going to help the rest of the lineup tremendously. 2
huge keys. Mark Vientos has to hit.
Oh, yeah. What he's doing this year is abysmal. I mean, fucking 9 for 62 to start the year.
Like you got on me about Dominguez. Dominguez is better than Vientos.
Oh, absolutely.
Like Vientos has to hit, and so does Lindor.
Vientos is not like, at least with Dominguez, like, all right, you haven't played as much in the big leagues. Vientos, man, figure it the fuck out.
No, he's got to.
You got to be that. It's either him or Nimmo as like the 4th option.
Yeah, no, it's a bad deal. And isn't Nimmo struggling really badly too right now?
I mean, Nimmo 203 average.
Yes,
he's got 4 home runs, but that's it. I mean, he's not 203 average. Like Nimmo's kind of like your get on base guy. I mean, a 263 on base right now. Just him and Lindor are the 2 biggest disappointments, and Vientos. I mean, those 3 guys, like, got to figure it out. Otherwise, this lineup is going to be pedestrian. And it's funny because I thought the pitching was going to take a step back from last year.
Yeah.
It's really been the only thing fucking carrying them right now.
Well, really, if their pitching falls apart, that's a bad deal.
Oh, if their pitching falls apart, they're screwed.
Yeah, no, that is a bad deal. Orioles series, you guys already played game 1. Game 2's today, right?
No, game 3's today. We're
game
split right
3.
now, 1-1.
Yeah, split. My bad.
Yeah.
You guys got Baltimore at 6:35. Thoughts, feelings? I know last night got a little spooky. Gavin
Yeah.
Williams giving up the grand slam to my boy Jackson Holiday, who
Yeah, I mean, it really came down to one atrocious inning from Gavin Williams, and two, Guardians got to figure out how to fucking hit with men on base. I mean, they out-hit the Orioles last night in a game they lost 9-1.
that is disgusting.
It's crazy. They had more hits and 8 less runs. I mean, just absolutely. I mean, they had runners on every inning, and you got to find a way to bring them home.
Yeah.
It's a bye bump day, so just like
supposed to be a win day. That's supposed to be a win day.
That's supposed to be a win day. So like go in. Hopefully 4 runs does the trick. I mean, you don't need to score a lot with Bybee. Hopefully. He's been kind of rough to start the year, but I think he started to put it together his last start against Kansas City. So I hope so at least.
And then your next series, is it us next?
No. So we got Pittsburgh this weekend in Pittsburgh before you guys. But you guys start a 4-game set tonight, right?
Yeah, with Tampa Bay.
Okay. And you're home away from home.
I'm thrilled about it, dude. Like thrilled.
I still can't believe that the MLB allowed that to happen. But you got to be thrilled about the way you're pitching and looked, especially against Kansas City. I mean, that's kind of just been the offense has been fine, right?
Yeah, well, our offense is down. It's just, the best hitter on the planet just keeps getting better. But it's funny because, like, here's the thing. When we face lineups that don't have power, we're great.
Yeah.
Great. But when lineups have power, our pitchers make too many mistakes. But the help is here. Clark Schmidt, I thought, looked really encouraging. Made a bad pitch late, gave up 3 and 5. But I thought he was pretty good.
Listen, first start of the year, you live with that. Absolutely.
Yeah, no, I thrilled with it. Obviously, like I never want to see Stroman again. I don't care. Fuck a good New York sports story. It's over. But, we have a 4-game set in Tampa Bay, and that has our dimensions. So basically, be like a home game, but a little warmer. It'll be a warm home game. The ball will fly a little bit more. Yeah, I'm expecting to see all the lefties. I anticipate that Ben Rice hits tonight, but it's Will Warren. Will Warren is coming off 2 really strong starts.
Yeah,
and if he keeps getting better, I mean, I think this rotation has got a real shot. So it's Warren today, Rodon tomorrow, and then Cookie on Saturday. So
okay, nice. And then back to who pitched.
So the Guardians avoid Mad Max. We got Max on Sunday.
Woo!
And then our next 3 against you guys get Schmidt, Warren, Rodon.
Okay, that'll be competitive series. So then if we've got Bybee today, that means you'll go
Williams, Bybee, Ortiz.
Yeah, so it'll be Ortiz tomorrow. Or yeah. So yeah, it'll go. Oh yeah, those are going to be 3 really good pitching matchups.
I mean, and honestly, it'll be guys that like are kind of on similar levels. Now, obviously, like I think Warren is where Bybee was at the beginning of last year.
Yep.
Like you got to pound. It's got like you just got to give us strong innings as a young arm. Yeah. Ortiz and Rodon. Same.
Don't have the collapse in it. Actually, I would say Gavin's more like Rodon right now.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, just because Gavin seems to have that one implosion of an inning every start, similar to what Rodon's been dealing with.
And then it'll be Schmidt versus Williams will be the game 1.
Schmidt versus Williams, yeah, and I guess. Yeah, Ortiz really. I don't have a comp for Ortiz yet. If he pitches like he did on Saturday, he's Cy Young 2.0.
Well, he's your Luis Gil.
Yeah, honestly, that's the comp.
Everything's a mirror image.
Yeah, but no, I mean your offense. Hopefully, I think for you guys getting back home in a sense, and against I mean this will be an interesting series because I really like Tampa's rotation. I mean, their rotation is really solid. And I think you guys have been struggling offensively, but you've been facing good staffs. I mean, you had the Detroit series facing Skubal and Flaherty. Obviously, you got the win against Flaherty. The Giants, I mean, you faced Logan Webb. Mm-hmm. Did you face did you face Robbie Ray in that Giants series?
Nope. We got Hicks.
Okay. It was Hicks, Webb, and I can't remember the third. But then you had to deal with Kansas City, and I feel like the bats were starting to come together. You avoided Reagan's, which was big.
We got Lugo, Waka, and Bubic. Yeah,
and Bubic, I mean, to be able to hit him, that's a guy who was money through 3 starts this year. So
yeah,
to be able to hit him, I guess it was encouraging for you guys to get the bats going a little bit, and hopefully you carry. What is it? Taj Bradley tonight I saw Tampa Bay. He's a guy that I'm really high on. He's one of my favorite young pitchers in the league.
Yeah, Bradley versus Warren, man.
That's a really good battle for those that like pitching.
Yeah, I need decent bats, and I need Warren to get ahead, man. He's one of those young guys. Like if he doesn't get ahead, it's over because he'll end up grooving a fastball to try to keep himself in account. One of those guys that like down, will pitch 3-0, and instead of knowing when to say when with just a dirt pitch, see if he can get a swing and miss, he'll just pound the zone middle, and that's when teams hurt him. Sometimes it's like when to say when if you can't work corners and all that.
Yeah, for sure.
So all right, just around MLB, Pat.
Well, here, I want to throw this comment up from our guy, Ben.
Oh, yeah.
Can y'all go over the most disappointing teams and teams you're most surprised by at this point in the season?
Most disappointing teams, the Braves.
Yeah, I was going to say, for me, it's got to be the Braves. I mean,
the Braves stink.
What's their record now?
They're so bad. And
I mean, 5-13. I mean, the second worst record in the National League. Oh,
yeah, they stink, man.
That's got to be the most disappointing by far. I mean, in the American League, you can maybe make an argument about the Twins or the Orioles this early on. I personally, I was not a fan of the Twins. I had them 4th in my Central rankings heading into this season. I didn't think they did enough to upgrade their offense or really their team in general. They really didn't do anything in the offseason to a team that's already hurt. But yeah, the Braves by far.
The Reds. I was high on the Reds. I thought they were going to be a playoff team, and it's early, but they're 9-10 right now, and their offense has been non-existent.
Which again, that's standard for a Tito team. It wouldn't be surprising to me to see them hit an offensive stride here in a little bit. Tito's teams have, I dealt with it for year after year. I mean, they never got off to a good start offensively.
Yeah. I'm surprised that the Dodgers have losses. So the Dodgers are currently in 3rd of the division.
Yeah, which. I mean, I don't think the Giants are built to last.
No, I mean, they're 3rd in the division and they're 14-6. So.
Yeah, which is outrageous. I mean, it's funny. Someone pointed out, one of my buddies, there's only 2 teams in the AL with a win percentage over 600. That's the Yankees and the Rangers. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 teams in the NL with the win percentage over 600. 4 of them are in the NL West.
Disgusting.
Insane.
Let's see. Teams I'm surprised by at this point.
I mean, honestly, I'll be honest, and I know most people were high on them, and maybe this is just something I overlooked, but I was not high on the Cubs this year. I'm surprised that they're in first place right now.
Same. The Cubs are a great answer. Obviously, like Kyle Tucker is an MVP caliber player right now. He's playing out of his mind, and I was hoping they would be bad. I like that. The Rangers aren't surprising me, but the Rangers being good is nice, I think.
Yeah, that division. I mean, that whole division right now is kind of a surprise for me. Like the Astros being in last is a surprise. The Angels being in second and being over 500, like showing signs of improvement finally. Like that's been a surprise.
The Brewers, man, they're in second place. They're 1 game back. You thought they were cooked.
I definitely thought they were cooked after that first series, man. I thought it was over for them.
Yeah, man. The big one for me is obviously the Padres. I'm shocked by the Padres.
Yeah.
I thought the Padres were in sell mode. Like, they told everybody, come get Michael King, come get Dylan Cease. We can't pay him.
Yeah, but that's the thing. So it's like I'm not surprised because they didn't get rid of them. So you still have King and Cease, which are top 5 Cy Young guy or top 6 Cy Young guys in votes from last year. You still have a lineup that has Fernando Tatis, Jackson Merrill, Luis Ariz.
Say his name. Xander Bogaerts.
Oh, fuck. Xander Bogaerts, although he's ass, in my opinion.
Dude, never mind. I was going to try to lie.
But, yeah, Cronenworth's had a decent year so far. I mean, Cronenworth with that almost 900 OPS.
Yeah, he just got married.
Yeah. I mean, they're looking like, all right, yeah, they finally figured it out. But, again, can they do it for a whole season? That'll be to be determined. But, yeah, I mean, it's surprising, but it's not because they didn't get rid of anyone.
Yeah, but how long is Jackson Merrill going to be out?
Let me see. He worked out on the field yesterday. It looks like.
Yeah, they just said
he's getting close to resuming baseball activity. So,
okay,
probably another week or so.
Fernando leads them in every major category: batting average, home runs, RBIs, on base percentage and hits
Yeah,
all
dude.
across the board. Luis Ariz is hitting 306 and has a negative WAR. Welcome to the Luis Ariz experience.
Yeah, dude. His OPS is 694.
Yeah, disgusting. Manny Machado, model consistency.
Yep.
Conversation for, I mean, when it's all said and done, we'll have a conversation of who's the best third baseman of this generation, him or Jose.
Oh, it's Jose.
Or Arenado are the three.
Yeah, or potentially Bregman. Do you count him?
Fuck Bregman. Bregman cheated. No, he'll be part of no discussions for me.
Nice.
Fernando Tatis over 1,000. Jackson Merrill over 1,000 OPS. I mean, shit, they got it.
So in over 1,400 more at bats, Machado's got a 6 WAR advantage on Josie right now.
Okay. I'm just telling you, like, you can fight me on this. I got cool, got it. But I mean, that's gonna be the conversation. It's gonna be Arenado, Jose, and Machado.
Where's Arenado at in WAR? Yeah, wow. So Machado and Arenado are neck and neck. They have the same amount of ABs. Sorry, where is that? Arenado 6,400 right now, and I think Machado's the same. Oh no, Machado is 60. Machado has more ABs than Arenado by 400, and Machado is 1.5 WAR ahead of him. Okay. I mean, that's about as close as it gets.
So yeah, that's that. I mean, obviously, like, position by position, like, that's I think about that stuff probably more than I should.
Yeah, wow, they're 1 homer apart from each other too overall. 344 for Machado, 343 for Arenado. Their stats are eerily similar. 285 average for Arenado, 280 for Machado.
I think, like, active home runs, I think it's like what? Aaron Judge, Arenado, Paul Goldschmidt.
Yeah. I had the top 5 down for a while in active home runs, but this was like 2 years ago. I think a lot of them have retired because that was like Nelson Cruz, Edwin Encarnacion, Joey Votto were all part of that list. And now I have to read.
I think I just had it. Okay. Giancarlo Stanton, Mike Trout, Goldschmidt, Freddie Freeman, Arenado, Machado. Aaron Judge is not up there. Aaron Judge is 9th.
You know who's ahead of Aaron Judge?
Carlos Santana.
Bang.
For probably about 3 more weeks.
You might be like 1 week.
Yeah, Bryce Harper at 7.
Yeah, Harper at 7.
Jose all the way down there at 19. He's 10 ahead of Frankie. Is he going to catch Matt Olson?
Oh, absolutely. What's Olson at 2? Oh, he's 2 behind Olson. I bet you at the end of the year, he surpasses Olson, Springer, Jose Abreu.
Bro, how are you going to act like he's going to pass Matt Olson right now?
Bro, have you looked at Matt Olson's stats this year?
No, I'm scared.
Matt Olson, oh my God, I just looked at this yesterday. Matt Olson on the year has a 682 OPS, 203 average, 2 homers this year.
He'll heat up.
They've been so bad. He's got a 600 OPS. Michael Harris.
Yeah, that still sounds good, but once they got to pitch to him because Acuna's back, good luck, Jose.
Yeah. Now Josie will have more home runs, guaranteed. Book it.
Yeah. Okay. This is we like to lie on this episode. Should we check on our bets that we have before we get out of here?
Yeah. Okay.
All right. What do you want to start with? What would you like to start with?
Let's get it out of the way. OPS, Rocchio versus fucking.
All right. I'll look up Volpe. You look up Rocchio.
Yeah, dude. We don't need to play this. Rocchio has a 573 OPS.
Okay. So I'm leading in that one. The OPS for Volpe is 789. All right. I'll look up Wells.
And I got Manzardo. Manzardo's got 4 homers.
That's not the. Is it a home run bet?
I thought we did home runs.
I don't know. I thought if it's home runs, cool. Like, I'll take.
Wait, what did we do?
I thought we only did OPS bets. Maybe I'm tripping.
I'm pretty sure we did home runs for Manzardo and Wells.
Okay, well, I'm with it. Obviously, like, we could just go back and watch the episode.
Yeah, I was gonna say we'll go back. I'm curious now. I think it's home runs though.
It could be home runs.
Manzo is 4.
Austin only has 3.
All right, bang. And
bang,
then
up 1, and then it's Rodon versus Gavin Williams ERA.
Yeah, and I think I have the edge in that one.
Yeah, you do. We looked up this morning.
4.58 for Gavin.
And I think it's 5.58. Oh wait,
All
I
right.
looked at Gavin.
2-1, baby. Let's go.
2-1. How comfortable do you feel with your 2-1 lead?
I feel no. If Gavin figures it out, I'll feel comfortable. After last night's start, I'm not that comfortable in that, but I think Mansardo is going to finish with more homers than Wells.
Yeah.
I'm Rocchio bet is cooked at this point. It's going to come down to Gavin and Rodon, I think.
Yeah, me too. I think that I'm obviously like Austin Wells, and they're taking the bats away from Austin Wells. I should have rolled with my guy Ben Rice, man.
I know. If you'd have Ben Rice, you'd be clearing that right now.
That's the man, dude. Ben Rice rakes. My
Ooh.
issue with Ben Rice is like I didn't know how many at bats they were going to get him because like when Stanton's back in the lineup, I don't know what they do.
I know. Well, that's going to be. I mean, that's going to be interesting to follow. And I'm also curious if Rice will stay this red hot by the time when does Giancarlo come back?
There's no timetable.
Okay, so
because it's just a pain issue. It's not a like.
Oh yeah, it's because it's fucking tendonitis.
Yeah. So what he's dealing with right now is the same amount of pain he played with in the playoffs.
Okay.
Yeah, he just
quit being a bitch.
Fuck, we don't need him. Don't we want our young guys to develop? Like, what do you mean?
Hey,
what did Booney say? Why does Ben Rice get to hit leadoff? He rakes.
He rakes.
Rakes. Ben Rice rakes. I got nothing else left for today, man. Just getting ready for the Tampa Bay series. We're gonna do a stream soon. I have kid duties a lot, so we're not gonna do one today like we planned on, but we're gonna plan on doing one next week, probably after. Fuck, dude. We have to figure out what we're doing for next week's games. So we'll
we do.
I'm Chris. That's Pat. Strike one, strike two, strike three.
Yeah, you're out.
We're out of here.
We're out of here.